Happy National Hamburger Day, guys. I hope you all got your grills fired up and ready. No? Okay. Maybe you're the more adventurous type and you've got your swimsuits and towels ready because today is National Water Park Day. Still nothing? Okay. Well, I'm not ready either. It's fine. But one thing is true. Those are real national holidays happening today. And the funny thing is, every single day, somewhere across the world, is somebody's holiday. Somewhere in the world, somebody is lighting a candle, wearing a costume, or eating a very specific dish, all just because of tradition. But why do we do these things? And what do they say about us? Today, I want to talk about holiday traditions, how they shape our identities, how they differ around the world, and how we can create meaningful ones on our own. Because whether we realize it or not, traditions play a huge role in how we connect, celebrate, and remember what matters. By the end of this speech, I hope you'll walk away with 2 new holiday traditions you've never heard of, a better understanding of how tradition impacts our lives, and maybe even a little inspiration to start a holiday tradition yourself. Here's what we'll cover. First, we'll look at how traditions help shape our cultural and family identity. Then we'll take a look at some fun holiday customs from around the world. And last, we'll explore how you can start your own traditions. So let's start with this question. What is a tradition, really? Before we talk about wild holiday customs from around the world, we need to understand why we care about these things in the first place. Traditions are passed down through family members, cultures, and communities. They help me feel rooted in something larger than them. They help people feel rooted in something larger than themselves. My mother and I never really got along, but when it came time for spooky season, otherwise known as Halloween, we were best friends. We would go to the movies to watch the most recent horror films, play pranks on each other with scary masks, and go thrift shopping for more eerie pieces to add to our Halloween decor and our costumes. These rituals may seem unnecessary and weird to some, but to me, they reminded me of what matters most: family and community. Let's take Thanksgiving, for example. Sure, it's about food and family to some, but for many people, it's the one time of the year when generations sit around the same table, sharing stories or family recipes. The green bean casserole might be a little questionable, but the shared experience, that's what sticks. Now zoom out to other cultures. During Diwali in India, families light candles and set off fireworks to celebrate the victory of light over darkness. Jewish families light the menorah each night of Hanukkah to remember a miracle. In many Latino households, Dia de los Muertos isn't about fear. It's a celebration of life and remembrance. People build ofrendas or altars to honor loved ones who've passed away. In each case, those traditions aren't random. They're deeply tied to someone's identity, values, and heritage. They're storytelling in action. And the most beautiful thing, even if you weren't raised in a deeply traditional family, you yourself can start your own traditions by yourself. But more on that in a little bit. First, let's take a fun trip around the world just to see how creative and sometimes unexpected holiday traditions can be. So clearly, traditions aren't just fun, they're meaningful. They shape identity and carry history, but they can also be surprisingly creative. Let's take a look at some holiday traditions from around the world you may not have heard of before. For example, in Japan, Christmas isn't a traditional religious holiday, but thanks to a clever marketing campaign in the 1970s, eating Kentucky Fried Chicken became a Christmas dinner staple. Families placed their orders weeks in advance to enjoy buckets of fried chicken as part of the celebration. In Caracas, Venezuela, Christmas morning is celebrated by roller skating to early church mass. Streets are even closed because of this, just so skaters can skate safely. It's a festive and active way to come together before the day's events. Over in Iceland, there's a cozy tradition called Hola Bókaflóð, or the Christmas book flood. On Christmas Eve, families exchange books and then spend the night reading them while sipping hot chocolate, promoting book bonding and a love for literature. That sounds pretty similar to what we do in the United States, right? Just like reading the night before Christmas. Even here in the United States, holiday traditions vary widely depending on cultures and region. In New Orleans, Mardi Gras is a vibrant season marked by parades, masks, music, and king cake. Though known for its lively celebrations, Mardi Gras is also filled with deep Catholic roots, signaling the start of Lent. African American communities celebrate Kwanzaa, a week-long event focused on African heritage, unity, and values. Traditions include lighting Kinara candles, storytelling, and giving homemade gifts. And many Asian American families celebrate Lunar New Year with red decorations, fireworks, traditional food, and the giving of red envelopes for luck, each year honoring a different animal from the Chinese zodiac. At this point, I want to hear from you. I'm going to pass around this hat filled with slips of paper, each listing a different holiday. Some familiar to some not. When it's your turn, pick one and share either a tradition you've already celebrated with your family or a tradition you'd like to start. It can be something serious, something funny, or even completely made up. Whatever feels right to you. All right, and I will start with you.
All right, I got Mardi Gras.
All right, tell me about it.
So for me, I would go to parades and I would try to catch beads.
Nice. Did you ever eat any king cake?
Oh, I love king cake.
I do too.
I love many different flavors of king cake too.
I consider myself a king cake connoisseur. All right, time for me to pick since we don't have two other people. All right, what did I get? I got Independence Day, 4th of July. Here, can you hold the phone? So, for the 4th of July, our Independence Day in the United States, I always spent my time going to the beach growing up. We always had a beach trip planned to either Pensacola or Gulf Shores. And, well, it might not have been filled with drinking for me, but others had a great time with the alcohol. So I think in America, it's just a party holiday. That's what it seems like, but it seems pretty fun. I still do that to this day. All right, you got it? All right. What's exciting is that traditions don't have to be old or handed down from generations past. You have the power to create your own meaningful rituals starting right now. When I started going to Christmas Eve parties with my in-laws, they introduced me to a new fun tradition, singing Christmas karaoke badly. It's a hilarious, imperfect, and totally joyful way we connect each year, and it's become one of my favorite holiday memories. Modern traditions like Friendsgiving, where friends gather to celebrate a Thanksgiving-style meal, have also become popular, especially for those who can't travel home during the holidays. Another example is writing letters to your future self on New Year's Eve, which helps mark personal growth and reflection. And even simple acts like watching the same Halloween movies every year or baking a special recipe with your roommates can become treasured traditions. These rituals add joy, connection, and something to look forward to. Creating traditions can also be healing, especially after difficult times, such as losing a loved one or going through big changes. What matters most is the intention behind these actions. The best traditions don't have to be old, they just have to be yours. So today, we've seen that holiday traditions are far more than just routines. They shape who we are and connect us to our cultures and loved ones, and enrich our lives in meaningful ways. From surprising traditions like eating KFC at Christmas in Japan, to roller skating to church in Venezuela, to cozy book exchanges in Iceland. I hope you discovered at least a couple of new traditions that surprised or inspired you. Remember, you don't have to wait around for old traditions. You can create your own and make them just as powerful. In a busy and ever-changing world, traditions give us a chance to slow down, celebrate, and connect. They help build memories, bring comfort, and support our emotional well-being. So the next time you light a candle, or share a meal, or gather with friends and family, know you're a part of something timeless. And maybe you'll start a new tradition today that will be cherished for years to come. Thank you and happy holidays. And since today is National Milk Chocolate Day, I hope you get to enjoy some of that too.